let's talk about Kamen Rider Zero One for a bit because there's actually a surprising amount to talk about with him. So about a month or so ago, we got the trademark for the new Kamen Rider series, Kamen Rider Zero One, and the trademark just gave us the name, just like Super Sentai always does. It doesn't give us the actual logo or anything like Precure does. And we're expected to get catalog scans around about next month-ish. And it's expected to start airing around about October-ish. Again, that's just going on previous patterns. So yeah, let's talk about it a bit because all of the leaks and rumors and stuff I'll be addressing will hopefully be linked properly in the description because we've got some news. Again, we don't have necessarily much concrete information about it, but I still want to talk about it anyway because again, there's a lot of stuff kind of floating around right now. So first of all, it's called Kamen Rider Zero One, so it's pretty expected that it's going to be a hacker theme. You know, 01 as in binary code, and also 01 because he's the first Reiwa era rider. Now, what's the Reiwa era? Well, the Reiwa era is a new era in Japanese history, and it's a pretty big deal in Kamen Rider. I mean, it's an even bigger deal in terms of, actual political news, but who cares about that? We're talking about Karate Bugmen here. Because Kamen Rider is heavily split into different eras, the Showa, and then the Heisei, and then the Neo Heisei, or the second Heisei, or whatever. And now it's the Reiwa era, with this being the first series of that era. And so it's pretty safe to say because between the different eras, there seems to be a lot of stylistic changes and stuff. And we're probably going to see some more changes here. I wouldn't expect as big changes between, this era as we got during the Heisei era, for example, because the Heisei era had a pretty massive hiatus at the beginning. But I would still expect to see some changes. As to what those changes will be, we'll speculate that a little bit more later on. That's one of the reasons I'm really looking forward to this series, and also just because Kamen Rider Geo isn't really doing it for me at the moment. I'm never usually the biggest fan of like fan service crossover stuff, and that's what Geo is. And so I'm kind of like looking forward to Zero One. Again, Geo ain't a bad series; it's a fun series, but it's not like amazing or anything. And so that's why I'm looking forward to Zero One. And since then, we've had some leaks and rumors. So first of all, it's the silhouette. We got the silhouette. Here it is. And if you'll remember, it's the exact same blank silhouette as Geo. Basically, when Toei doesn't have the rider suit completely 100% ready and locked in yet, they will just use a blank silhouette instead. They did so for Geo, and it looks like they're doing so for this because it's the exact same blank silhouette. More importantly, in the same image that the silhouette has, it has a silhouetted gimmick collectible that looks kind of like an SD card. Now again, this is just a silhouette, so we don't know much about it, but it looking like an SD card or whatever kind of fits in with a hacking theme. There was also, and basically everything from this point forward is purely rumored and speculation, so take everything with a grain of salt. Like I said, I will link my sources in the description. Whilst I trust my sources, that doesn't mean they're going to be 100% correct about everything. So there's also the rumor that, well, this could be, Toei likes that kind of punny themes and stuff. So what if the theme is actually bugs? As in, it's about hacking, computer bugs, but it's also about insects bugs. And that would make sense because this is, again, the first series of the Reiwa era. And so we're probably going to be going like back to basics a little bit. And well, if you remember, the very first Kamen Rider was insect themed. He was a grasshopper. And a lot of the riders since then have had insect motifs and themes to them too. So it would make sense to have, another back to basic sort of insect themed rider. But we did get some more concrete information from, hey, it's Matt Hunt again. He leaks a lot of stuff. He leaks and rumors a lot of stuff. And he seems to be convinced that this rider is going to be yellow. He's going to wear a beanie hat and he's going to wear sunglasses. Which makes sense. Like the sunglasses and the hat kind of fit with that sort of aesthetic. And here's a drawing I did of that. I took this information from Matt Hunt and I tried to turn it into a drawing. And I went into this with the mindset of, well, it's probably insect themed too, and if he's bright yellow, then I'll make him like a wasp or a bee or something, since, that makes sense. So I took some design elements from like wasps and bees, because, he's a yellow rider. Again, very basic image, not what I actually expect the rider to look like, but just kind of a, like, oh, this is what he could end up looking like. And Even better, earlier today when I'm recording this, we got some more information from Matt Hunt in the form of another tweet that actually says that the new Kamen Rider might actually be based on a bumblebee. Yeah, so that's pretty reassuring. I was actually on the right tracks with my drawing. But again, we'll see. All that stuff's rumored. So something a friend of mine, Tisbury, pointed out was that bumblebees are photosensitive to ultraviolet light. And what that means is that everything ties together a little bit better than we thought it would, right? Because that ties in with the sunglasses. So the rider uses sunglasses to protect himself from, ultraviolet light outside, like a bumblebee would. I mean, no, a bumblebee wouldn't wear glasses, but you know the analogy I'm going for here. But as Matt Hunt himself pointed out, this also means that it could, tie into the hacking theme some more. Why? Because a hacker is someone who usually doesn't go outside very often, and so he would need sunglasses and be sensitive to light, which I find very ironic since apparently his suit is going to be bright yellow, but whatever. And yeah, that's basically all the info we have so far. And again, it's all rumored, so take it with a grain of salt. However, if you're already dismissing the information I just gave and we're like, nah, that's probably all fake, bear in mind that Matt Hunt was the very first person to publicly predict that Rhea Soldier would be dinosaur themed and not dragon themed. And when he announced that, I took it as, no, that's not going to happen. Nah, he's just pulling information out of thin air here. There's no way that can be true. And lo and behold, Rhea Soldier ended up being dinosaur themed, not dragon themed. So I'm willing to take him at his word a little bit here. Again, grain of salt, etc., etc. I would love to see a rider that has a scarf. Scarves were a fairly big thing in the Showa era. I really like to see scarves return. I also really like bright, colorful suits, so I'm totally down with a bright yellow suit potentially. Insect theme, I like that. We've done the insect theme a lot, but it's a fairly unique and interesting theme that you can do a lot with. So I'm happy with returning to the insect theme again. I'd say insects are a lot more interesting than dinosaurs personally. I quite like the hacking theme. The whole hacking, bugs, insects kind of like crossover sort of reminds me of X-Aid and how it had the Bugster virus and how it like tied in bugs with computer bugs and actual viruses. And so this is a similar sort of thing here to that, but I wouldn't put it past Toei to do that. I would like the series to be a little bit more kind of back to basics with just a focus more on like the actual characters and story more than anything else. That goes without saying, obviously. I would like to see them slow down a little bit with the gimmick collectibles. I'm not saying get rid of them entirely like other people are, but I will say I would prefer gimmick collectibles that are less of them per series, but they're more substantial because of that. So instead of however many ride watches we ended up getting, maybe a lot less of those, but, maybe only 1 or 2 a month rather than the however many we keep getting. But because of that, they do more and they're more substantial. There's also the thing that Japanime keeps saying, where he wants a Kamen Rider series where they get rid of the gimmick collectible entirely and have it so basically the gimmick collectible are the belts, where there's just a bunch of different belts that you can collect. And I'd be up for that idea too. I'm just not sure if Toei would do it. I'd also like to see them bring back bikes properly because, this is Kamen Rider after all. And the newer series do certainly have motorbikes in them, but I would like to see a bigger focus on them again, going back to basics. So that would be cool. Although I do know like proper good motorbike action scenes are fairly expensive to film. So, we'll see. That's basically everything I have to say about Kamen Rider 01. I'm very interested to see what kind of era-wide changes get made here. I don't expect many crossovers or stuff in the series itself. We're obviously going to have some kind of big crossover movie, but Geo was already a series full of crossovers and stuff, so I expect this first series of the Reiwa era to be more focused on it doing its own thing and moving forward rather than pandering to the past. So that's good. That's got me excited. Although we'll see, I wouldn't put it past Toei to do 2 anniversary series in a row. But yeah, that's Kamen Rider 01. I'm really looking forward to it. I will definitely make another video. And while I'm at it, I will address this channel has been fairly empty and quiet over the past while. That's because I'm working on a comic right now called Royal Knights. If you want more information about it, you can go to my Twitter, where I will do a proper video about it when the first chapter is done and it's available to read. But as you can tell, working on a comic it takes up a lot of time, and that time unfortunately has been digging almost directly into my video time. So I'm gonna try and get out more videos now again, somewhat consistently, but comics and videos both at the same time, whilst also having a personal life, not the easiest thing in the world to focus on. More Comic Vanguard videos soon. That Soldier video I keep promising is eventually going to come out. I'm actually really excited to talk about Soldier. I'm fully caught up on it, so I'm looking forward to making a Soldier video. But yeah, no, that's basically everything I have to say for now. So yeah, see you guys.